I really wrote for corporate managers that we don't usually sell to the public hardly at all, but we wrote it for Johnson & Johnson. Actually, that was the original. It has over 1,000 critical thinking questions that you guys all should be asking the people you recruit. Every one of those questions. It's actually 1,068 questions, believe it or not, and it's like a 300-page ebook. I'm going to give you that for free, but only if you sign up today, because I want your commitment to come to this June 4th training. Okay, is that fair? Yeah. Okay. Come to the training because we don't have enough time. There's so much going on here. There's just not enough time to train you. But in the 6-hour training we're going to do, you guys, I'm going to teach you how to be an expert at this. You're going to know everything you need to know, okay, by the time you walk out the door, how to coach your people in this process. So you've got step 1 already, and you'll have step 2 after June 4th. Now what's the only other thing and the other variable in the equation?
Gotta work.
Time. That's it. Time. You're gonna be rich. Get pumped. It's fun. It's fun. Yeah. Okay. So I just want to give you one thing about the mental toughness piece. What is one of the biggest things? Well, one of the biggest things in mental toughness is you have to believe you can get the result before you can see it. And you've heard this before. It's nothing new, but it's a really big deal. Like, you can't guess. You have to believe that if you do the work, you will eventually get the result. And this is not common, okay? That's why most people are broke. That's why most people are more interested in Weed Fest than they are in succeeding. And I'm not putting down Weed Fest, because I'm going there tonight. But you can smell it a mile away, man, I'm telling you, it's crazy. But I'll give you an example of how I screwed up. I really blew this belief thing when I was trying to become wealthy, financially independent. I blew it, and I want to share just quickly about this because I don't want you to fall into, especially the younger people, fall into the trap that I fell into. Because I wasted years because I didn't totally get it. I didn't have an army like you guys haven't made, but that's our story. I'll talk about that in the June 4th piece. But here's what I did. I decided in 1986 I was going to become a mental toughness coach to corporations. I was already coaching some of the biggest athletes in the country and teams like the Boston Celtics and all kinds of teams and all kinds of famous athletes. But I wasn't really making much money because they don't pay much. Corporations, it's a different story. They pay millions of dollars, but they didn't at the time pay millions of dollars for mental toughness. So people said, you can't do that. They're not going to buy $1 million contracts at a corporation. They don't even know what mental toughness is. And I heard that for a long time. So here's the end result. Wall Street Journal calls me about 2 months ago. Wall Street Journal. And the guy says, Steve, I'm doing a story on the rich. How long did it take you to make your first $1 million? And I said, you won't be impressed. I know I deal with them all the time. And I said, you won't be impressed. I'm not a good person to ask. You won't be impressed. You won't want to print it. And he says, no, I just want to know. And I said, okay. I said, 13 years. And he said, okay, here's my second question. This is why the Wall Street Journal is so great as a publication. They have the best reporters. He said, how long did it take you to make the second million? See, the second million's a different animal. That could change this whole game. And I said, 9 months. Thanks. Thank you. See, I like the 9 months. The 13 years, not so much. But the third question was the best. He said, okay, big disparity. You think, how can it be that big a disparity? It's all psychological, believe me. He said, what's the fastest you've ever made $1 million? And I said, 1 day. So it begs the question, how do you go from being a tortoise, like I am and was and am maybe, I'm not sure about that, yeah, I mixed that up. Probably am sometimes still anyway. 13 years to 1 day. Here's how it works. Psychologists call it approach avoidance. For you mental health professionals, you know this like the back of your hand. We move toward the goal, and then we go, I'm not sure I can do it. So I don't know, people are telling me I'm not sure I'm smart enough, I'm not sure. Oh, I'm pumped up again. Yeah, I'm not really sure today if I don't know if it's ever gonna happen, I'm not really. Yeah, and we approach and we avoid. Approach and we avoid. 13 years. Once you make it, and then the first million, and then you go out there and they go, who do you think you are? You're going to make millions of dollars, and you go, oh, I've already done it. And they go, oh, sorry, I said something. You know. Then they stop. Oh, they stop, by the way. They'll stop irritating you when you get rich. That stops. Yeah, then they want to borrow money. Yeah, it's a whole nother process. But bottom line is, now you believe it's possible. Now when someone says, I've got friends that have made $1 billion in a day. Can you believe that? Like, that's way above my level. But the difference is, once you believe it 100%, once you believe you can do this business, any business, doesn't matter if it's mine or yours, once you believe it, you move toward it like a locomotive and no one can stop you. And what I'd recommend, so the question is, how do you build the belief? I took 13 years. Don't be slow like me. That's not good. You know, I wasn't telling you to brag. I'm telling you to say I was slow. That's very slow. In this marketplace, you gotta be kidding. You can get rich, 13 years is too long, bottom line. So how do you build this belief? And that's really one of the key things to mental toughness. How do you build it? Here's the fastest way. Get around people who believe. You're here, right? You're here. You're around all these superstars, these people that are pumped up, they believe. Some of these guys are making stupid amounts of money, right? They believe it. Get around them as much as possible. Let them care, so to speak, let them carry you on their back, psychologically. Let them carry you on your back, belief-wise, until you're strong enough to carry yourself. And then you carry the people you recruit on belief-wise on your back until they're strong enough to carry themselves. And after that happens, it's all over, baby. You start making the money and people start saying, you can't do this, and I already have. Go tell Collis he can't become a millionaire. Go tell Mario and Franny. They won't believe you. They'll just say, oh yeah, thank you. They've already done it. Once you've done something, it's over. There's no belief to have. You have it 100%, right? Okay. So here's my last piece, and I'm going to turn it back over here. I want to ask you a question, because obviously you guys are committed to this. I hope you are. Here's my question for you. Have you planted your flag? In other words, have you planted your flag, your commitment to Primerica? Have you decided that this is where you will make your final stand? This is where you're going to build your fortune. If you planted your flag and said, this is where I'm going to do it. Because what most people do on the outside, they're looking at every shiny object. Oh, look at that opportunity. Oh, this must be easier. I'll go over here. Let me tell you guys something. I've interviewed rich people for 32 years. There ain't no easy way to do this. This is a fight. But if you're going to fight, why not fight with a bunch of winners? Right? A bunch of tough people that say, let's go for it, man. Right? Why not be in a group like this? Right? So here's what I'd ask you to do. Second question. Have you planted your flag? Second question, last question is, are you ready to defend it? Because guess what? When you're in here, you're with the army. We're all together. We're at the same consciousness. When you walk outside, they're coming at you. They're going to try to tear you down. They're going to try to tear you down. They're going to try to tell you you can't do it. Are you ready to defend the flag? When we train Navy SEALs, that's one of the questions we have to ask. Are you willing to give your life in combat in a mission that almost no one can succeed at for this flag? And they say, you bet your life, that's why I'm a Navy SEAL. And you go, okay, just ask it. They're not playing games. These guys are serious. Are you at that level? If you are, just a suggestion, go up to the person who recruited you. Go up to the leadership and say, boom, I planted my flag. I just want you to know I'm here and I'm ready to defend the flag. And they'll go, okay, all right. Thanks for telling me. Boom. And they'll know you're serious. They'll see it in your face because, again, most people are in the middle. They don't make a do or die commitment. These rich people you heard from, you hear Collis up here, you think he's playing a game? These guys are serious. They make a decision and then they make it happen. That's it, period. There is nothing in the middle. You can't stop these people. They're unstoppable psychologically. That's what mental toughness looks like. I believe that's what you need. The opportunity you have, the mental toughness to make it happen. And I hope to see all of you guys on June 4th. Thanks so much for having me, guys. Thank you.
Was that unbelievable? Put your hands together for Steve Seibold! housekeeping tips. Got to get to the back, sign up for Steve's event.